to this computer, and away we go. Right, Martin, I'm going to mute you because we can hear you a lot. Okay. Right, welcome, peoples, to tonight's Wychwood TV. We have been doing this now for a couple of weeks, and I was rather hoping that this would appeal to my ego, that as I walk down Wychwood high streets, people will walk up to me and say, "Oh, you're world famous." Well, sadly, no one has recognized me whatsoever. I'm still as anonymous as I was before Wychwood TV started. So if you want to help encourage me, that would be a good thing to do. Come up and ask for my autograph. If you don't, then I will handle it. Don't worry. Okay. Tonight we have, following on from a doctor's excellent video a few weeks back, we thought we'd have another session on Wychwood fitness, although if you're not a fitness freak, one of the reasons why we're doing two in a row is because all the other people we've asked haven't replied to our emails. So if we've asked you, please do reply to our emails. That would be really lovely. Politicians, policemen, anyone like that who's listening, please reply. Okay, so tonight we have Paul Wray from the Breakespeare Clinic. His main claim to fame is he fixed my ankle after I fell over and really hurt it badly in a badminton match, but I reassured Paul that we did win the points. That was okay.
That was great.
And then also we've got muted Martin Crabb because it sounds like a vacuum cleaner is going on his audio. So that's one of the joys of live TV. But later on, we'll be speaking to Martin, I hope, if assuming the audio works a bit better later on, about the world famous Witney Parkrun and some of the banter and he and I have about the terrain around the Shipton under Wychwood. So, okay, Martin, thumbs up if that's okay. Thumbs up, Martin, can you hear me? Yeah, lovely, brilliant. Okay, and then Amanda's with us, and Amanda and I will share the questions. So Amanda, do you want to kick off with a question for Paul?
Hi, Paul. How was last year for you?
Hi, Amanda, Alan, Martin. Last year was challenging. Yes, no, it was a difficult year. No, it was a really hard year for us. During the first lockdown, we weren't able to open our clinic and see anybody face to face. So we did have to work with the joys of Zoom and on the phone and things like that. So that was quite difficult for everybody. During the second and third lockdowns, we have been allowed to start to see people. So that was fantastic. So we've been able to see people face to face in the clinic again. We haven't been working at full capacity because of all the different sort of regulations that we now have to do, or the cleaning regimes and things like that. So we can't see quite the numbers of people that we were, but we are operating and we're seeing people, which is fantastic, really.
Brilliant. Okay, and what are the main health issues that you've been seeing over COVID times?
Quite a lot of problems we've been seeing people who've been working at home. So yes, they're not in their usual office environment, so they're working from sort of laptops on their lap, sitting on a sofa or sitting at the kitchen table and things. So that's created quite a lot of neck and back problems. So we're seeing people coming in with neck and shoulder related postural sort of type problems. So that's probably one of the biggest things from a work perspective. And then obviously people have been keeping fit, so I've been seeing lots of people walking and running and cycling, and that's created a few injuries as well that we've seen.
Yeah. Okay, Amanda.
What are your top tips for solving these sorts of back problems or neck problems?
I think the first thing is try and prevent them happening in the first place. So trying to make sure you've set up your computer in the right position. You're sitting on a good chair. You've got your mouse or keyboard in the right position, so you don't sort of create all these problems. So ideally, you want to have the screen about eye level when you're sitting. So rather than looking down at the screen, that often causes lots of neck problems if you're looking down at the screen all the time. So lift that screen up. I often mount mine on sort of box files and things like that if I'm working. So that's one quick and easy way of raising your screen. Probably use a separate mouse and keyboard is the other thing to do. And then making sure that you've got good support for your back when you're sitting. So ideally on an office chair, if you have one at home, that's perfect. If not, then you can use a cushioned chair and maybe pad it with a cushion behind your back, so you've got support for your lower back, and that keeps your spine in a better alignment. So that should help prevent it in the first place. The other thing to do is to move regularly. People sit for hours at a time, yes, in meetings or working. So try and make sure you get some movement in regular intervals. So standing up, moving around the room, or even if you're just sitting, just doing some simple exercises, just sort of neck stretches and things like that, taking your head from side to side. Yeah, very good, Alan. Excellent. The other one is retracting your chin, putting your chin in. We often sort of end up hunched looking at the screen. So straighten up and pull your head in and retract the chin. So all those kinds of things will help to loosen up the neck and shoulders. Even just shrugging the shoulders or circling the shoulders will all help get you moving and just release some of the tension up there.
That's cool, Paul. Okay. You probably heard that as I was halfway down one of the mountains of near Shipton under Wychwood that
Yes.
that my calf muscle went. What should I have done? I mean, this is like horse bolted stable door type of situation, but what should I have done to have prevented that?
It probably would have been a good idea to warm up and stretch that muscle before you started. I've seen a lady in today actually who started doing a lot more exercise during lockdown and has had a similar problem with her calf. So yes, stretching and warming up is one of the key things. So I can show you some stretches now, Alan, if you'd like to have a go at some stretches.
That would be good. I don't think I know what a warm-up is, but okay. Right.
Well, warm-up can consist of various things from yes, a little bit of brisk movement, or even just raising up onto your toes a few times can get the blood circulating and getting your body warm. But yes, so you say a lot of people don't really understand how to warm up or bother warming up, but it is a good idea before you're doing anything physical.
Okay, Paul, this is very frightening. You're asking me to change. Come on then, team. Let's do our exercises this evening. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You can all stand up and
okay.
show you some stretches for your calf muscles and for your legs that will help.
Okay.
So the first one, if you've got something to rest against, a wall or a work surface, is a good one. So if I just tilt my camera down, you can see my feet a little bit better. Yeah, so you can lean against the wall, rest against the wall. So you're going to have one foot in front of the other. Yeah, so you're going to keep the back leg nice and straight with the heel down on the floor, and then just gently lean forward until you feel a tension at the back of that straight leg. And then you want to hold that for about 30 seconds, ideally. Yeah, and then when you've done that one, you can switch and obviously do the other side. So that's a nice one for the main part of the calf muscle, the main belly of the calf muscle. So hold that. So ideally you want to do 2 or 3 of those before you go out and walk or you start to do a run. Martin's going to tell us about park runs in a minute, but you want to do that before you run. The other one you can do is move
Paul, could I just stop you? Because I see some people in the Wychwoods are not doing this exercise. So if you could all stand up and let's see you stretch your calf muscles, that'd be really cool. I'm going to close me auto door.
Yeah, so if you position one foot in front of the other again. This time we're going to bend that back knee, keep your heel down, and that's going to stretch the Achilles tendon right at the bottom of the calf and the other main calf muscle. Again, hold it for 30 seconds and repeat that one 3 or 4 times. It's perfect. It's good, and obviously we do that on the other side as well. That looks good, Alan. Well done.
My calves are stretched more than they've ever been stretched before. Yes.
Yeah, so those will stretch the calf muscle. The other muscles that are really important for you, Alan, I believe, is your hamstrings at the back of your leg. So you can do a nice hamstring stretch by stretching the right leg in front of you, pull your toe up towards you, and then just sit back, lean back a little bit, and you'll feel a nice stretch down the back of that leg.
Wow.
Yeah. You can switch and do the same on the other side.
I'm feeling the
30
pain.
seconds ideally. Brilliant. Well done. Fantastic. Good effort.
Okay. Lovely. How did I do? Marks out of 10.
Excellent. I couldn't really see your feet, but yes, you were making
Okay.
the right noises.
Okay, that's lovely. Right. Well, you mean the grunts and the groans and the pain and all that sort of stuff.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
So if you've never done a stretching exercise before, people, now is your time to start. Okay. Sorry, I've got someone trying to phone me on.
Well, we
on
have
my...
a question through. I can.
Okay, lovely.
We have somebody asking, how important are good running shoes? This is somebody who runs about 20 miles a week slowly, but is it important to have really good running shoes?
Absolutely essential. Yes. No, you need good supportive shoes that are going to cushion your feet, reduce the impacts on your body, on your ankles, your knees, your hips, and your spine. So yes, absolutely essential to go and find a good running shop where you can purchase some running shoes.
Okay, Martin, do you want to unmute yourself?
I'm unmuted, I hope.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, that's good. And if we talk, we don't hear your background noise quite so much.
Okay,
so
turn the Hoover off.
Okay. Lovely. It sounded like Martin was doing the vacuum cleaning earlier on, but okay, it's like, okay, right. So, Martin, tell me about the story, which is Witney Parkrun.
Witney Parkrun is normally a Saturday run done at the West Witney. We normally have about 350 people. With COVID coming along, it was stopped. About 40 weeks ago, they decided to do a not parkrun, which is a daily, you could do it once a week or 7 times a week, daily virtual 5K. It's a walk or run. When you get finished, check your time, log it into the parkrun, you're on your profile, and it gets recorded. And then each week, those totals are done, and each parkrun is given a league position of the numbers.
And am I right in thinking that Witney is the world leader?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'll
I'll tell you what happened. About 10 weeks, we used to get an email every week, and it would say, is your parkrun in the top 10? And Witney were. And I looked at the results and I thought, you know, with a bit of effort, we could. So I spoke to Dan Weimer and Tamsin, and they set me an impossible mission impossible, to get 100 not parkruns done. I said to my wife, can we do a little video, a Zumba video, to motivate people? And me doing Zumba, I'm about half a second behind her. I have never, so many people laughed at it. The people I know on Facebook, Running Club, Witney Road Runners and Parkrun, had more women that day tell me they loved me than any other day of my life. So it was amazing that all of a sudden we were second in the league against Chelmsford on week 10. Cut a long story short, we're now week 40. We have been top of the league 30 times.
That is amazing.
It's been out of this world. I just can't believe. I mean, we should have been smashed by everybody. The big parkruns just haven't got hold of it.
Yeah.
But we've just managed to get people motivated. I've used social media in a positive way.
Yeah.
Facebook, both, because I started Witney Road Runners in 1985. So I know a lot of runners. I know a lot of witty people. And it was just motivate, encourage, and away we go. By tomorrow, we would have done 23,000 5 kilometers.
Wow.
Walking and running from Witney's 300 plus people. It's just out of this world.
That is amazing. Okay, if you were interested, people, I've done 53 of those 23,000.
and most of them up the mountains of Wychwoods.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Okay, Martin. Amanda, do you have a question?
Yes. In the Wychwoods, we have a lot of people who have got less fit during lockdown rather than more fit. Obviously, a lot of people have taken up walking and running more, but some people have done less. So what sort of advice would you give them?
I mean, the most important thing is whatever you're going to do, you've got to enjoy it. You've got to want to do it. I noticed a comment about wearing running shoes. Absolutely. Don't have to spend a fortune, but if you're going to run or walk, correct footwear. Set yourself easy, achievable targets. Don't go think I'm going to run a marathon in 3 months' time. Just be fitter than you were the week before. All I say is if you do something, you know, I'm a runner, I'm a walker. If you do something and you can see weekly improvements, either in your time or how you feel or less aches and pains, then it encourages you to carry on doing it. And I've never forgotten when I first started, I'm talking 40 odd years ago when I started running. I had so many aches and pains. I didn't have running shoes. The first pair of running shoes I had a pair of Nike Air. I can't remember the model number, but I went down the road thinking that somebody had just put a pair of springs in my shoes.
Wow.
I felt so good. But it's just small targets, you know, and don't, you know, I am a person that when I started, I walked to a lamppost, run to a lamppost, walk to 2 lampposts, run to a lamppost, just gradually build up every week. You know, I finished up doing 30 marathons, 107 half marathons, races out, you know, out of this world. I'm not a natural runner. I've got the best out of my body. And that's all you can do. We're not all natural runners. We're not all never going to be 5-minute milers. If we can try to get the best from our bodies and enjoy it, then that's all you need to do.
I think that's what we'd say, isn't it? That when I go running, we have this rule that you should go at the talking pace of the slowest runner in your running group, and that's a good level. What about your wife, Jackie? How's she done with her running?
When Jackie started, I mean, she was very supportive. I started Witney Road Runners with a mate in '85, and we wanted to boost the numbers of people. You know, we thought we would struggle in Witney. We didn't. We had 100 people turn up on the first Thursday night. But my wife started. She didn't like running to start with, but she enjoyed going with the girls, chatting. My wife can talk all the way around, and they had so much fun talking. In the end, I mean, I trained her. I took her out for long runs, build up, and she did the Great North Run in 2000, and she loved it. And she doesn't want to do it again. But her love is dancing and sunburn.
Okay,
we have.
Yeah, go on, Amanda.
We have a really interesting question. Actually, is how has running changed since 1985? And that will be.
It's when I look back. If you wanted to measure the distance of where you're running, you got in the car and measured it. You had a Casio watch that all it did was a stop and start. When you look at the old race pictures, there's people crossing the line with their finger on their watch. That's how technical it was. The clothing you had, you know, t-shirt, pair of shorts, no real structure. When we started Witney Road Runners, we made it up as we went along. If you Google now how to start a running club, there is so much information on there, rules and regulations, health and safety, risk assessment, all that. When we started, we just made it up as we went along. And I'd say it's more harder now than it was then.
Yeah.
There's no social media telling you where you got it wrong and everything, and people moaning and groaning. But yeah, I've loved running all the way through. There's so many people and characters.
That's lovely, Martin. Part of the problem I have, okay, and I'm just going to share our screen, if I can work out how to do it on Zoom, is, where are we? Okay. So I wanted to show you a picture of a terrain nearby to, okay, can you see that okay?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's on the Banbury Road, isn't it? Just out of Shipton under Wychwoods.
It is, yes, absolutely. How did you know? It's quite difficult to run up. What advice do you
tell
give?
you the difference.
Yeah, go on.
The difference between you and me, Alan, is when you see a mountain or a hill, you think, oh no, it's going to hurt. I don't want to do it. When I see a mountain or a hill, I want to run up it.
Okay.
So we used to caravan in the Brecons, and Penny Fan, I could see from our caravan. And I used to look at it and think, right, I'm going up there today.
Okay, that is seriously impressive. But for those of the just myself and my friend, okay, in the Wychwoods who don't think like that, is it okay if we walk up the hills?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I can tell you something. in a marathon race, I mean, I've done Snowdonia 6 times.
Yeah.
In a marathon race, people that walk go past you. You can walk up a mountain faster than you can run up it.
Okay.
Stride it out and use your arms.
That is
nothing
amazing.
Nothing wrong with walking, mate. Nothing.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I ran up an 80 on the way past the Hartley's farm, up towards the Stowe Road. There's an 80-meter hill, and it nearly died. But I did. Okay, so yeah. Where are we next? Amanda, have you got another question for us?
Yeah, nothing's come through, but what about injuries? I hear a lot of stories about people not running because of knee injuries, knee issues that they've already got. Any thoughts about that?
Some of the thoughts I mean, I'm not trained, I'm not a physiotherapist. We've got Paul here as a physiotherapist. All I can say is about how I sort of kept the injuries down. Whenever I could possibly run on a grass verge, if there's a footpath and there's a grass verge or a pavement or tarmac, I go for grass verge to start with. The least impact. Always go for the soft. When you're running down a road, if you do the same route every day, there's bound to be a camber in that road. Cross over. Don't run the same camber of the road every single day, because there's an imbalance and you'll get injured. Never wear the same pair of shoes when you can afford 2 pairs, or have 1 old pair. Change your shoes regularly. Don't run every day with the same pair of shoes, because if you've got a problem with a pair of shoes that's lost a bit of cushioning, you're then telling your same old knees getting the same old bit of a twinge because it's going over a bit. I do my knees, to protect my knees, I've always done a static legs exercise by sitting in a nice chair with your bum in the back of the chair and just raised your leg up statically, and then with a straight leg do the alphabet with your foot, C, D, just so it builds your quads up. Paul will probably tell me I've got it all wrong in a minute, but it's worked for me. Build your quads up, support your kneecaps, and don't do the same routes every day if you can help it. It's all about being repetitive. You keep doing the same things every single day, a bit like working on the computer. If you keep doing the same things, the body will say, I don't like this. Imbalance. So change things up, mix things up, walk, run, stretch, warm up, cool down, and enjoy it. You know, I'm passionate about.
So you've got to vary the activity a little bit from walking to running, maybe a bit of cycling or swimming, and you say keeping all the major muscles strong around your knee, front and the back of the leg are really important. You say that footwear is crucial.
Absolutely.
Making sure you've got cushioning for your shoes, and yes, that if you've got that opportunity to run, as Martin was saying, on a grass surface, it's going to be a bit softer. It's going to reduce the impact on your body. That's going to help your knees.
The bit I always remember is they did a 24-hour race, ultra distance race in Milton Keynes shopping centre, and the amount of people that got stress fractures from running on the marble floor for 24 hours. And I've never forgotten that. So whenever I see a marble floor, I think, right, go and run.
Right, Martin, we're getting near the end of our time.
Okay.
Any happy stories about being a runner? Because some people out there will be now dying at the idea of even putting one foot in front of the other. So
I got a couple of happy facts. It's got to include mountains, of course.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
The RADA 20-mile road race, February, as you come out of the village or the town, is Aberystwyth Mountain Road, 4 miles uphill. I've got a lovely pair of shorts I've raced in loads of times with the integral underpants. So I've got no underpants on underneath. I get to 4 miles, bearing in mind I'd never ever dropped out of a race, and the elastic in the waistband snapped. It was so cold, I couldn't get a safety pin off my number, so I ran 16 miles holding on to my shorts. I finished the race, and a guy came up to me afterwards and said, "Hey mate, you've got such a funny running style. What's all that with your hand on your hip?" And another quick one is Snowdonia Marathon. I've gone up with Witney Road Runners. I'm not going to do it this year, but I've had a couple of Guinnesses and I signed up the night before. I had a wonderful first 20 miles. I'm on the last climb. I have died. I'm putting lumps of chocolate in my mouth, running out of energy. I fall over. and Rupert Bear comes running past. Person dressed as Rupert Bear. I looked up and thought, I'm hallucinating. I said to one of the Witney Road Running girls, because she said, I'm going to beat you today. I said, if you beat me, I'm going to eat your trainers. I finished. I beat her by 41 seconds. And when I see her now, she still reminds me, and I think I'll still be eating them now. I'll be slicing a little bit up. And
Okay.
But yeah, I've had lots of fun running. Lots of friends. Good times.
Lovely. That sounds really brilliant. Okay. Well, thank you very much for being on our program, and thank you for Amanda for asking the questions. Paul and Martin, it's been lovely to hear from you. Martin, your fans stopped worrying just as we got to the end of the program. So that's really kind of it.
And when I see you tomorrow, Alan, we're going to go out together.
Yeah. Okay.
We're doing when we're doing stretching when we start. Okay.
Okay. Martin, I was trying to keep it quiet that I was going walking with you. So yeah.
Why is that?
I'm just trying to cultivate this appearance of being unfit. Okay, so
rubbish. You're good, mate.
Okay, I am actually. So yeah. Okay. Right. Thank you so much, people. It's been lovely interviewing you. We probably won't have Wychwood TV next week because although it doesn't seem like it, it does actually take quite a lot of effort to organise these, and I have a business to run. So we'll probably come back after Easter if that's okay with you, Amanda. Are you desperate to have another session next week, or can you wait till then? So if you've got something interesting to say, Wychwoods, I'm very happy to hear from you, and it doesn't have to be for half an hour. It could be for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. The important thing is we don't want to do justice to your subject. We want to do justice to our audience, and so therefore it's got to be interesting to them. So, but if you have got something interesting, or if you are a local politician, not that local politicians don't have things that are interesting to say, but we would love to speak to them. We would love to speak to the local police about how they police the area, and anyone from the school, that would be good as well. So I will try and send emails out to them, get them along to talk to us. But that's all from us. So usually I end this in good two runners style. It's good night from me, and it's good night.
Good night, Ben.
Yes. Okay. Lovely.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. Okay. Let's end the meeting. Okay. Thank you.